Greetings from India. Now I am going to discuss status of the soy food market in South Asia, which covers India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. Majority of the soy food program is focused in India. So I would first go with the Indian market situation. Before going into the soy food market, I just would like to brief you about the health and nutritional status of Indian population so that we can connect better the soy food consumption to fight the nutritional issues or health issues Indian population is facing. More than 25% people are below poverty line in India. There is a high incidence of malnutrition. It is ranked second, especially among children suffering from malnutrition. Prevalence of underweight is also high, and there are about 225 million Indians chronically undernourished. Unfortunately, India has one third of the Indian population is suffering from malnutrition, and equally amount of population are having health issues, especially like obesity, diabetes, heart diseases, cancer, osteoporosis, etc. And this is the health situation. And here I would like to mention one thing. India runs one of the world's largest feeding program. More than 110 million children are fed every day through midday meal or school lunch program, and almost 90 million children and pregnant women and lactating mother are fed every day through a program called Integrated Child Development Scheme. So these are some of the basic issues in the Indian population. Um, then I would like to discuss about the protein deficiency where soy can fit in very well. And most of you are aware that India has a very high amount of vegetarian population. The prevalence of protein deficiency is relatively high, very high. I wouldn't say relatively, very high. About 90% of vegetarians and 85% of non-vegetarians are deficient in protein. And there is a gap in the availability of pulses and milk, which are the main protein sources to the Indian population. The protein deficiency will lead to growth and development issues. And there is another issue, not only the quantity deficiency, there is also protein quality deficiency is also there, because 70% of the protein for Indians comes from cereals, which are found to have low quality, protein quality, and also low digestibility. And looking at the global demand for soy protein in general, there is about 70% increase in requirement of protein by 2050. And definitely, India is going to have a little higher protein requirement in the coming years. If you look at the Indian soybean history, as a lot of the Western countries and some Asian countries, soy is not a traditional part of diet, except a few northeastern states and few hill states. They have been consuming soy, but main part of India, it is not a traditional crop or a traditional diet. And soy commercially introduced in 1960s, and production picked up, which is now estimated to be about 10 million metric tons. Like most of the markets, poultry is the major consumer. Food sector is growing significantly. We will discuss that a little later. Here, I just would like to mention the earlier failures, which actually soy as a human food happened in India in late 80s and early 90s. Soy milk was introduced by four major companies, but it failed in a big way. Then positioning of textured soy protein in the 70s was another issue. It was positioned as a nutritional or a feeding supplement, and it gained a poor man food tag, which actually put a lot of the middle class and upper middle class population saying that it is not for me, it is for those poor people. And also there is some incidences where people are government and try to position soy as an alternate to lentils, because soy cooking is totally different because of its high protein and fat, so it cannot be cooked like lentils. So that also put off the Indian population accepting soy. And a lack of awareness is another issue, and also too much of focus on anti-nutritional factors is also considered one of the issues for the earlier failures of soy consumption as a human food. Now, currently, if you look at it, things have improved significantly since the last 2 decades, since US soybean family started promoting soy in the country, things have changed drastically. Now, soy food is one of the fastest growing segments, and the soy consumption was as little as 100,000 metric tons way back in 2000, which is estimated to be about 1.5 million metric tons currently. Soy milk, tofu, textured soybean market continue to grow healthy. And you'll be surprised to know that there are more than 3,000 small and cottage scale soy milk operations, and more than 300 textured vegetable protein or textured soy protein manufacturers are there. As I mentioned earlier, Northeast states and some hill states have a very traditional soy foods, mostly fermented foods like tempeh kind of products, which is, of course, mostly unorganized. The consumption in soy consumption in India is mainly driven by the health conscious consumers. People are becoming very conscious about health foods, and disposable income has increased. And this is the reason the soy food consumption is growing. However, there is a little lack of awareness and goodness of soy is there, which needs more education. And also, every now and then, the myths about soy consumption pops up, so that also affecting the soy consumption in between, as and when there are some reports on the myths of soy consumption. If you look at the categories, there are so many soy food categories available in the Indian market. You name it: soy milk, tofu, textured vegetable protein, soy nuts, traditional snacks, fortification of wheat flour, and lentil analog, the use of soy in the bakery products, soy fortified noodles, protein bars, which is growing very, very well, and fruit juice based beverages and breakfast cereals. There are quite a few soy food categories, and defatted soy flour is also one which is being sold in the retail market. People buy it and add it to their as a kitchen aid, like in making wheat flour, making wheat flour based products, or maybe gram flour based products. Soy protein supplements is also doing very, very well in the market, and soybean oil. These are some of the segments, soy food categories, which are available in the Indian market. If you look at the soy milk market, it's doing extremely well. About 380,000 metric tons of soy milk was produced last year, and it is up from mere 400 metric tons in 2000. There are about 3,000 soy milk manufacturers in this country, and we see a good growth, about 15% growth in soy milk production over 2018 in 2019. And there are about 15% of the total soy milk is marketed as beverage, and about 10% is converted in the powder form, and 85% of soy milk is converted into tofu, and tofu consumption is growing significantly, mainly as an economic and healthy alternate to paneer, which is a dairy product similar to tofu. Actually, tofu is positioned as soy paneer, and this is positioned against paneer as an economic and healthy alternate. And in recent times, we saw good opportunities for few value-added products like soy yogurt, buttermilk, frozen dessert, cheese spread, and in traditional foods. This is about soy milk market. I see a lot of opportunities for US food beans for this particular market. And if you look at the textured vegetable protein, it is one of the very big segments of soy food segment, which was introduced in 70s, as I mentioned earlier, as a poor man food, unfortunately. But now, slowly, the acceptance has increased very, very well. Currently, it is estimated about 600,000 metric tons of soya flour is going as textured soy protein. But again, about 75% is going as a bulk unbranded segment. Of course, branded products are increasing, and there are more than 300 extruder operators in India, and mostly they are a single screw extruder. But in the last 2 years' time, we see good growth in the twin screw extrusion technology, so which will help in positioning this product better, and also making like a meat analog segment, the new segment which is coming up across the globe. And if you Look at the soy nuts. This is another segment. I see a lot of opportunity for this. Dry roasted nuts are becoming popular. There are about 60 manufacturers and currently producing only 2,000 metric tons. But I see a lot of opportunity because the feeding programs, as I mentioned earlier, have excellent opportunity for this particular program because this is being positioned as a economic and nutritious alternate to eggs, which can be actually positioned very, very well. And also, the soy nuts are being adopted into traditional foods. Of course, you must be aware, like peanut butter, similar to that, soy nut butter is coming up, and also there are traditional sweets made out of peanuts. This can be made, soy nuts are being used to produce peanut based products like chicky, something which is growing up, and I see a lot of opportunity for this particular category. And protein supplements is another very good category. This nutraceutical market is growing significantly, and this is mostly dominated by soy protein isolate. Currently, India imports about 10,000 metric tons of soy protein isolates. Majority comes from the US. And about a year back, one local manufacturer started local isolate production. And soy protein bar market is one of the fastest growing sectors in the country. And in the protein supplements, disease specific nutrition supplements, sports and performance nutrition, child nutrition is another big area, and weight management. These are some of the nutraceutical or protein supplements segments which is using soy protein isolate significantly. And there are some innovative or new products, I would say, like a high protein reconstituted rice as a diabetic rice, lentil analog, textured vegetable protein as a meat analog, and processed ingredients like bakery. As we know, soy has a lot of functional applications that is leading into application into bakery products, dairy alternates, and food processing as an ingredient in traditional snacks and noodles is also growing up, and also there are a lot of opportunities for that. I would like to briefly discuss about the high protein reconstituted rice, which is a reconstruction of a rice kernel using broken rice and addition of soy protein, vitamins, and minerals will make it a low glycemic rice, a high protein rice, which is a perfect solution for diabetic population. As you will be surprised to know, Indians and South Asians have very high risk of diabetes, and currently about 73 million Indians have diabetes. So this can fit in very well. Though this particular product, USEC has been working on positioning this as a healthy new product which can take soy protein to a different level. We look at a huge population of diabetics, which are mostly rice consuming population. So this is another one product which has a good applications. Another is lentil analog, which has been there in the market for some time, but because of lack of technology, it wasn't taken as expected. This is made from defatted soy flour, either with wheat, corn, or rice. Contains about 50% protein. It is a economic alternate to lentils. India has a gap in the availability of lentils. This particular product can fill that gap because it has high protein, economical, and easy to cook, and it's a perfect vehicle for micronutrient fortification, which government of India is working significantly. And this can also fit in very well into the feeding programs. If you look at the offtake of soybeans, as I mentioned earlier, it is currently estimated to be about 1.5 million metric tons, and by in the next 5 years, we assume we are sure that it will go up more than 2.5 million metric tons. And domestic soybean utilization as cooked directly is also one big area. Either cooked directly or added to wheat flour is another big area, and we see a lot of opportunities for various high value added products and soy milk and soy nuts, which are directly have opportunity for US soybeans in this market, is been seen as a good opportunity. And USEC has been working on promoting these products in this market. I will quickly go into the other South Asian markets like Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a very good opportunity, has a good opportunity for soy food products. Currently, more than I think about 35 to 40,000 metric tons of soy is being consumed in this market, mainly as a nutritional supplement. 3 Posha, which is a government-run program. Whatever the local soybean production of like about 10 to 12,000 tons of soybean is all going into this product. And recently, few private parties, private companies have started producing similar product in the retail markets. And there are significant import of soy foods, whether it is enzyme active full fat soy flour or soy milk, soy sauce, or soybean oil, soybean, soy protein concentrate, soy protein isolate, lecithin, etc. They have been coming. And Sri Lanka has a good meat processing industry and have very good textured soy protein market. More than 25,000 metric tons of soy is being consumed in this particular segment. In general, there is a positive perception about soy. But however, there are some myths about soy consumption pops up every now and then. And these are some of the products available in the Sri Lankan market. I would like to discuss about the Bangladesh market. Primarily the soy protein supplements made from isolated soy protein. If you are using full fat soy flour to make protein supplements, textured soy protein is there in the market, but mostly imported from India. Soy milk and tofu mostly imported, and the soybean oil, which was earlier imported, but now the local production is growing, and the locally produced soybean oil is available. And as far as awareness is concerned, there's a limited awareness on the goodness of soy in this particular market. Similarly, yeah, these are some of the products which are available in the local markets. You can see tofu, you can see soy milk coming from the imported soy milk and textured soy protein and other products. And Pakistan, similar to Bangladesh, Pakistan is also the awareness is limited on the goodness of soy. Protein supplements as nutraceutical products are available in the market mostly from isolated soy protein. Pakistan has good meat processing industry uses isolated soy protein. And there are few brands or few products available as soy milk and tofu, which are mostly imported. Soybean oil is again locally produced, which is growing. As I mentioned earlier, awareness about the goodness of soy is very limited in this particular market. These are some of the products which are available in the Pakistan market. And if you look at Nepal, Nepal has some few fermented traditional products like tempeh, similar to tempeh, are available. And also there are non-fermented traditional foods are also available, as I mentioned, like some part of northern part of India, hills in India have some similar products. So Nepal also good traditional products which are not as organized, but mostly home based products. Tofu is produced by small manufacturers. Soy nuts are also being produced and available in the local market. There are few TSP manufacturers in Nepal, and also few are importing from India. Refined soybean is also available in the retail outlets. Mostly it is coming from India, and even though there are no activities so far in Nepal as far as promoting soy as human food, this is one area, one market where we can look at promoting soy foods. These are some of the products available in the Nepal market. So, with this, I would like to thank all of you for your patient hearing. I see India and South Asia are going to be very, very good markets for soy foods, and also excellent opportunity for US soy protein products, especially for nutraceutical products, soy milk and tofu with new dairy analogs coming up. And also there are good opportunities, huge opportunities using soy in some of the products like Lentil Analogue and diabetic rice and sports nutrition and child nutrition. This is in brief about soybean market, soy food market in the South Asian market. Thank you very much for your attention.